Mike, MS. Keon in the house. What's up, brother? Baby Yoda. What's up, Adam? Good to see you, man. We good to start the show? My sound okay? Should be alright. It's all flames, huh? Alright, let me turn down the music just a smidge. Feye! It's a good thing you're a mod, man, or else I think it would have banned you or something. Alright, let's go ahead and do this. Let's start the show. Wednesday, February 17th, 2021. Crazy how time's flying. We're already about to, we're past the halfway point in February. Nuts. Time's flying. All right, y'all. A few points of emphasis for tonight's show. We are live, Robert. Good to see you. Info assistant, welcome to the show. We have a few really good topics. I'm not going to go crazy with a bunch of things. I just want to focus in on a few. We have, I don't know. I'll call it impressions of T-Mobile's N41 and the CLE. How I've been testing the network, how it's been performing, this new network slice or I guess we'll call it a capacity layer. We'll talk about the Verizon B48 I've been testing, the CBRS, which, man, I think between N41 and Verizon's B48, these are the two things that I'm super excited about when it comes to network capacity. Obviously, millimeter wave is freaking tremendous, so I don't want to downplay that, but it's never going to scale like a mid-band will. Well, I hope you recover well, Debbie. Sorry to hear that, but I hope you're improving situation. Yeah, I don't know what happened with the YouTube notifications. Everybody's saying they didn't get notified. So it goes to show you how YouTube picks and chooses who they promote. So if you want to help out the SMT, you could do it in two ways. You can share it to YouTube, right? If you got a YouTube channel yourself, retweet it. You know, I tweeted it out on Twitter. Share it to Instagram. Any of your socials, you can do that. Just share it. Hey, Jad, good to see you. John, appreciate you. Thanks for being here, man. Hashtag Mod Squad, all my mods out there. What's up, Robert? Yeah. Carlos, how you doing, brother? Discover. All right, so we got the T-Mobile N41 I want to speak on. The Verizon B48 I'd like to speak on. Some C-band insights, some stuff that we found out today about, yeah, absolutely, Beard Squad right here. Got the Evergrowth, you know? Got the Ravioli gang in the house. We're going to talk about the best-selling 5G phones, too. Some reports have been out. And, yeah, the Discord works good, too, absolutely. If you're not a member of the Discord, there's a link in the description for that. There's Patreon links. There's the Twitter handle. YouTube's notification situation has always been a little touchy. Just follow me on Twitter. I tweet out everything, anything associated with the channel, you know, and stuff like that. Appreciate it, Discover. Thanks, man. That's nice of you to say, man. That's, you know, do our best. Just say that. All right, so we go ahead and get started here with the show, and I want to talk about the T-Mobile N41 experience I've had thus far. I've tested N41 using two devices. I've tested on the iPhone 12 Pro. I've tested on the Samsung Galaxy S20 Plus, and it has been really fast on both. My first phase of testing, which dates back several weeks, I actually started testing it, I don't know, a couple months ago, maybe 3 months ago, when I first started noticing that they had upgraded certain sites, and the performance was blah. And by that, I mean it didn't stand out to me. I didn't think to myself, wow, this is game-changing, this is revolutionary. I was getting like between 250 and 300 megabits per second. In and of itself, that's a nice upgrade, but it's definitely not the potential we thought we would get from, N41. We're talking about, 60 megahertz of spectrum. It should be faster than that, on top of the fact that not many people had 5G phones. So there's not much traffic on that layer of the network. So I was disappointed with that. That was like maybe the first 10 to 15 sites I tested. It really wasn't great. But over the course of the last month or so, the more recent upgrades, not so much sites that I had previously tested. I haven't really gone back and tested those. But the newer sites that were recently upgraded, they are performing much better. So the capacity I'm seeing is more of the potential of what we expected. So the N41 we thought we were going to get, I think, is actually what we're starting to see. So when I was getting the 250 and 300 megabits down, now on these newer sites I'm getting 450, 550, 650. I think one of the sites I hit 700 once, which was pretty cool, and I consider that to be a win. Tana, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? Thanks for stopping by and showing some love, man. I appreciate you, dog. If you guys thought that beat was fire at the beginning of the show, courtesy of the brother at Tana So Lit. He's on Twitter. Check out his YouTube channel, chosenbeats.club. If you'd like to get some of those instrumentals and those beats, he's the guy to see, most definitely. The recent upgrades to the T-Mobile network, they've been very noticeable. Been really, really good. Hey, Luna. The attraction to the network now has to be, in the cities where they've started to upgrade mad scale, you're seeing a huge capacity boost. So, if you have T-Mobile and, you're previously in a very congested situation, some markets have a lot of T-Mobile customers and network may have been starting to slow down. What's up, T-Mobile Rabies? How you doing, man? The thing about the network now is in a lot of markets that started seeing the N41, they've already gotten a lot faster. And as they scale it more and as they densify their upgrades more, they start to cluster sites. They add more and more of the N41 to, macros and rooftops and stuff like that. It's going to get faster and it's going to get better. I can't speak to the tower density upgrades. It's not really, I don't know, they're not really doing small cells, but as they've upgraded these macro sites, the network has gotten noticeably faster. So, again, I've said time and time again that the T-Mobile network is going to be unrecognizable when this is all said and done. I know some people have said it hasn't really done much yet in their area. That's going to be changing. Like I said, within just a couple of months, the T-Mobile network is very different in the CLE. So in areas where it was congested, it is no longer congested. A lot of the bandwidth is going to be great for the T-Mobile home internet product. In fact, if you were close enough to the tower site, I'd say if your home is within a half a mile or a mile of the tower site, if you can get that T-Mobile home internet router, modem combo, if you can get it high enough in your house, I think it's going to do pretty good for you on the N41 connection. If it's beyond a mile, I don't think it's going to work out for you. In my testing, the range has been kind of limited. Effective range of a half mile, 3/4 range, you're kind of starting to see edge. And then at a mile, it's just not really connecting well. I don't think it's high enough on most of the sites in my area to really make a difference beyond the 3/4 mile. Because even at 3/4 of a mile, we're going from like 600 megabits per second down to like 300. So you're losing, 50% of your throughput, at that distance. So again, if you're within a half mile, 3/4 of a mile, I think you're good. It's a good option. But if you got the N41, but once you get to that mile marker, I don't know, it really starts to fade. The RSRP is very weak. I don't even know if it'll lock in N41, being on the edge. So, but man, it's happening fast. I would encourage you all to consider, looking into the potential of these upgrades in your area. If you're on a carrier like maybe you're with Verizon and the area is congested, You know, like here in the CLE, Verizon has an absolutely incredible tower grid, but they have a huge market share here. I could see why people would choose T-Mobile here, being that it has, you know, this newfound capacity. And it's something that not even AT&T and Verizon can really offer without ultra-wideband until now. So this takes me to this next piece where, you know, I've been testing N41 and it's been great. It's been incredible. It's a game changer for them as long as they continue to densify. Band 48 for Verizon is so freaking fast. What they're doing is... No, I don't know. And I'll talk a little bit about that. D-bop-pop. It's not that it's better than 2.5 gigahertz. I wouldn't call it better. It's different. So 2.5 gigahertz versus 3.5 gigahertz. Obviously, the higher frequency lends itself to having less of a propagation characteristic. It won't reach as far. It won't penetrate building materials as well. But I think more importantly, the CBRS at 3.5 gigahertz is also low power. That puts it at a bit of a disadvantage compared to the 2.5 gigahertz, which transmits high power. So the 3.5 gigahertz does have that limitation. But in my testing, even from a small cell, I have gotten effective range of a half a mile from CBRS. So maybe not quite the range of 2.5, but it's not that much less. And it's pretty good. I mean, they're going to be putting it on pretty much every site they have if they want to. Verizon has said they're going to use it in small cell situations, micro cells. They're going to put it on macro cells, rooftops. Wherever they have a tower site, they're going to do it. It's going to have to help their network capacity. They've got congestion. Verizon has a huge market share in a lot of cities, and it's going to be a big help for them. So let me explain to you guys where I'm seeing the 3.5 gigahertz CBRS. I'm connecting to band 48 in a number of different scenarios. I'm connecting it near neighborhoods in the CLE. I'm connecting in business districts. I'm connecting by the airport. I'm connecting on busy city streets, near manufacturing type areas. I think it was like there was like a tire shop, garage, mechanic shop, bus station, a couple of gas stations. I don't know. I saw this string, this line of about 5 or 6 miles, including the freeway, where CBRS was being broadcasted. So I'm not saying that CBRS is better than N41. Quite the contrary. Obviously, 2.5 has its advantage because it's a lower frequency and it's high power. But what I'm saying is don't sleep on band 48 as a capacity layer for Verizon. And here's why I think it's going to be a big deal for them. Verizon already has an incredible tower grid. They have micro cells everywhere. The CBRS connection, what's going to make it special is the fact that it's going to be one of 3 capacity bands for Verizon. So they're going to have their ultra-wideband, which will take them a long time to build out, but it does offer them the most bandwidth potential. They've got spectrum holdings that are incredibly high, 400, 800 megahertz in certain markets. That'll be great. The C-band is going to be a big piece of what they do starting in December, and that'll be a game changer for them because it's high-powered, 3.7 gigahertz. But the thing about the CBRS is there's up to 60 megahertz that a carrier can deploy unlicensed. And then in other use case, Verizon could add their 30 or 40 megahertz of band 48 that's licensed. So their PALs or PALs, and then along with the unlicensed, they could have, 70, 80, 90, 100 megahertz of this stuff. And that's LTE. So you don't even need a 5G phone to take advantage of it. If you have an iPhone 11, if you have an iPhone XS Max, you'll connect to band 48 as well. If you've got a Galaxy from a couple of years ago, you don't feel compelled to upgrade, you don't have a 5G phone, that's okay. The band 48 is going to be nice. I've tested it when it had 2 carrier aggregation for band 48, so 40 megahertz, and I've tested it with 3 20 megahertz channels. And because it's LTE, it aggregates. So it's like 20 megahertz CBRS, another 20, so that's 60 total. And then it'll be like 20 megahertz of 66, and then I've connected with another 20 megahertz of 66. So I've had 700 megabit per second speed tests connecting to 100 megahertz of this stuff. And that's all low power. Well, not the AWS. That's the band 66 is high power, obviously. But I think that's pretty good. That's a nice little capacity layer. Now, the range, again, limited. It's not high power. But you think about Verizon's tower density and, their fair share of small cells they have around all these cities. It's going to help a lot of people. Look, I'm not here to tell you who's better, T-Mobile's N41 or Band 48. That's not what this is about. This is about somebody like myself or somebody like David or somebody like Carlos. I don't know who else has Verizon here. PA Tech, I think you have Verizon. Barry, I don't know if you do. But anybody who has Verizon is getting this new added capacity, which is going to alleviate the congestion on the network. Plus, with Verizon's small cell density, yeah, Barry's got it. It's going to be an instant upgrade. I'd also like to throw in speaking to a technician, he told me that these antennas are so small, they can literally fit them within the same infrastructure, band 48 and C-band, which is N77. So starting in December, January, February, whenever they start to upgrade these sites for C-band, you're going to be seeing help in the areas of LTE and 5G. You're going to be connecting to the C-band, N77. You'll be connecting to the CBRS for LTE, band 48. And then I think at some point they'll probably DSS it. Probably. I don't know, unless they just go straight, a year or two from now, dedicated, NR, N48 or whatever. But it goes to show you that a lot of people counted out Verizon as, slowing down, and they've got all this congestion. I think they're dealing with it quite well. Here's the thing. I don't know what they're doing in your neck of the woods. Like, your market could be different than mine. So if you're in the CLE, if you're in the Cleveland area, you're seeing huge upgrades to capacity wherever they've got it. I've already connected to at least 15 tower sites new that I don't remember them ever having CBRS, so it's brand new. And they haven't even deployed their licensed CBRS yet. It's all the unlicensed. It's 60 megahertz and 40 megahertz of it. Hey, Big Lou, good to see you, bro. Thanks for stopping by. Chaim, good to see you as well. I actually, Landon, I expect N41 to be have more range because of the high power transmission. So, Rohan, it's gonna take some time. Carriers are gonna have to do it on their side and then send updates to the phones. So I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, huge upgrades from Verizon, huge upgrades from T-Mobile. It looks to me as if AT&T's focusing on densification right now. They're trying to kind of get into a position where they'll be upgrading sites with C-band for their added capacity as needed. I don't know. These networks are getting really good, guys. If you're a T-Mobile customer, be excited, be happy about N41. If you're a Verizon customer, be excited about CBRS. I think those are going to be the emphasis things that you're going to be seeing in 2021. For AT&T, it's going to be a combination of C-RAN, small cells that'll be offering huge capacity, modernization, site upgrades, getting band 14, band 30, modernizations, DSS with N2 and stuff like that. Should be good. It's a good time for carriers right now. Let's see what else is going on here. Oh, this story is pretty good. All right, so I'll just throw this in there. This might help some people. If you are a cord cutter, maybe you have like Hulu Live, YouTube Live, something. I don't know if you got streaming services. This is YouTube TV news. stuff is happening over at YouTube TV. They're modifying their offers over with YouTube TV. They're going to be offering a handful of new features in a new add-on that you could pay for and get all of these cool things. They're adding what are called YouTube Shorts. They'll be getting an official launch in the U.S. So I didn't actually know about this. I didn't know about YouTube Shorts or whatever. But it's part of their YouTube TV now. They'll be giving it to you as part of this add-on. I guess it was international. It didn't have like an official North America or U.S. launch. So we're getting that. Also, for all of you parents out there, you'll be getting an enhanced parental controls and in-video shopping. So if they offer products and they're selling products and you like them, you can actually purchase through the app, through the streaming service, and boom, you got yourself some stuff that you wanted. The next thing they're also having is a new playlist feature and unlimited simultaneous home streams. So you, your brother, your sister, your mama, and your cousin too, everybody could watch simultaneous streams in the house. So unlimited. You got 3-4 TVs, you got a tablet, you got an iPad, a laptop. Everybody's connecting simultaneous. No restrictions there. They're also doing an auto-generated video chaptering feature. So it'll break down segments of a show or a video and then indicate what it covers. So it'll auto-chapter it. And they're also going to be offering offline DVR. So you get to record all of your favorite shows and programs with an offline mode, which is pretty cool. So you don't have to be connected to any internet or anything like that. Very nice. They're also going to have a new YouTube VR experience. And they're also going to offer 4K video availability for specific shows and content. So look out. If you are a YouTube TV customer, long time, current, or future, these are going to be features that are coming your way and available for purchase as add-ons. I don't know if it's going to be like one particular add-on or if you're going to be paying per feature. I didn't think they disclosed it, but hey, Tiny. I think what they're going to do is this is going to be a feature set. One fee gives you all of this stuff. I don't know, maybe $5 or something, or $10. I don't know. That's what companies are doing now. Companies are now offering you more and more value, giving you more stuff, more features, but they're doing so at a cost. So they'll charge you a flat rate or a fee and then give you everything, right? So if you're into these things, if you like YouTube TV and you want all these features, there's a package coming your way, which is pretty cool, I guess. I'm a YouTube TV customer, a subscriber, so this is something I'll look into. I'll ask my wife if she wants it. If she does, we'll get it. I kind of like some of those features. I like the auto-generated video chaptering, the offline DVR. Those are my two favorite features. I'd be interested in the 4K, obviously, because I have 4K TVs. It'd be nice to watch in 4K. So I'm on the lookout for those things. All right, next story. This one's just kind of a quick one, very brief. For those of you looking for a new phone, if you're on the market for one, Google Feye has just added a bunch of new phones. A lot of you may not know what Google Feye is, but I'm telling you guys, don't sleep on Google Feye. If not for the service, at least consider buying a phone from them because you can get a really, really, really good deal. All right, so the first phone that they're now selling is the Moto G Play. If you're looking for a really, really affordable phone, the Moto G Play is $99. The Moto G Power is $199 at Google Feye. So if you're looking for entry level, if you're more budget minded, you don't want to break the bank, you're looking for something to replace your phone, those might be good options. Obviously, your expectations, keep them tempered, but it's worth something to consider. The one I would actually encourage you to consider is the Moto 1.5G Ace. $279 for a full-fledged 5G phone. I'm not sure if it has millimeter wave. I can definitely confirm it is sub 6 gigahertz. So if you're on T-Mobile, if you're on Verizon, and AT&T. It'll work on all of them. I know you're buying it from Google Feye, but I do believe their phones are unlocked. So you don't have to worry about any of that unlocked nonsense. Deal of the day. Deal of the day. They are selling the S21 for $300 off. And that deal is good through March 9th. In case anybody out there didn't hear me, that is the cheapest brand new price you're going to get on an unlocked S21. I think the phone sells for $799. I don't know if you can correct me there in the live. I'm pretty sure the S21 is $799. If it is indeed $799, you're getting $300 off instantly. Brings you down to $500 for a 2021 brand new flagship. It's $699. Huh. All right. I don't know. I feel like it was $799. Is it? I don't know. Somebody confirm the price for me. Just double check it. You guys know that I'm real big on getting a good deal on a phone. So at $300 off, that is a good deal. Don't pay full price for a Samsung Galaxy. They drop in value so much. Always look for a good deal. I don't know about the FE. You'd probably have to wait till the end of the year. I don't know. They got a good deal on it. It's a promotion. So if you're looking for the S21, $300 off from Google Feye, boom, unlocked. You're in good shape. I'm assuming no, bloatware, no carrier bloatware, stuff like that. Maybe you might have to buy a month of service from Google Feye. Who knows? You might like it and keep it. You pay as you go kind of usage. But that's the best way to get that phone, honestly. 1 month of service, David. $20, dude. It ain't bad. To save $300, you're winning $280. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it. All right. Next piece of news here. This one is actually a story coming out of 5G phone sales and 5G phone usage. All right. So the iPhone just got 5G. Literally with the iPhone 12 generation, 5G was an introductory feature to this generation of phone. The 11 generation did not have 5G. Obviously, anything before does not. So it's a new feature to the Apple iPhone. The Samsung Galaxy S10 generation, so the S10, the Note 10, the S20, the Note 20, and now the iPhone 12s, right? They're all 5G. You got to throw in that you also had the LG V50, the LG V60. Right, you also got to throw in the Pixel 5. We've had phones with 5G for a long time now. It's been a couple of years. Hey, William, good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping by. I'll throw in the OnePlus devices too. This goes back to the OnePlus 7 Pro 5G, right? They've got a couple of 5G devices, the 8 Pro. We've had 5G phones, guys. And it's not even close. The only 5G phones that are selling and people are buying are the iPhones. Literally 2 years of everything else selling. And one model of iPhone has already sold them out. Already passed them big time. Obviously, with the iPhones, the sales are always going to be there. Which model, you say? It's the iPhone 12 Pro Max. That is the 5G phone of choice. How do you tell? How do they know? You may ask. 49 out of 50 U.S. states have shown that the iPhone 12 Pro is the best-selling 5G phone. That one other state, being Vermont, it's the iPhone 12 Pro. So the people have spoken. They only trust the iPhone 12s for 5G. Hey, Adrian. And to take it one step further, it's really the 12 Pro Max. People want that one. That's what they're using. This is according to crowdsourced data from Ookla and the M Science company. M Science tracks sales, and they tracked it up to January 23rd. Ookla looks at all of their app usage, and such. People doing speed tests and whatnot. The 12 mini is the least popular iPhone when it comes to sales. Thus, it also reflects this in the data and the usage of Ookla. So that is confirmed. The only phone notable in 5G sales and usage that's not an iPhone and not the iPhone mini is the S20 Plus. The Note 20 Plus also sold decent. So those are the two Androids that are notable as being good 5G sellers. But they actually already got passed by the iPhones like the first month. I think it was like November, December. So iPhones are eating them up. The LG Wing tanked. The LG V60 tanked. The S21 line, obviously we don't have data on that yet. This data was taken up to January 23rd. So when did I think that's the week that the S21 line was being delivered, where they were taking pre-orders. So the S20 Plus was a good seller. The Note 20s, the Note 20 Plus were a good seller. But after that, it's really just iPhones. Not the Mini, but all the others. A lot of people have been talking about the OnePlus Nord N10 and how great it's been selling at Metro. That's interesting. That is interesting because it's priced so well. I mean, people are eating it up. You can go into a Metro store, pour it in a number, and they're giving you that Nord N10 for free. You pour it in, they're giving you a free 5G phone. And it's good. It's a good phone. From what I'm hearing, it's been solid. The software is good. The hardware seems pretty good. It's a mid-ranger through and through. But hey, you're getting it for free. I mean, what could your expectations possibly be? All right, so that's kind of the situation there. I do want to kind of conclude by saying this on that story. When it comes to phones in the United States, it's the iPhone and then everything else. Let's just start there. When it comes to 5G, it's the iPhone and then it's everything else. The nice thing, though, is that the iPhone actually offers a solid cellular performance this year. You don't have to feel like you're getting a lesser product. Usually, the cellular is where the iPhones have faltered because of the Intel processors and, the modem hardware and the antennas and Wi-Fi and all that. But this generation of iPhones is solid. They are using a Qualcomm-based chipset, modem, and the antennas are great. So you're not losing by getting an iPhone this year. In fact, you're winning. The iPhone has been a very solid performer. And I'm going to talk about this on a show later, on a podcast. I've pretty much transitioned all of my testing down to a couple of iPhones and a couple of Androids. I'm now split 50-50. I never used to use iPhones because back when I was, doing all my testing, the iPhones were inferior. It didn't make sense to use an iPhone because the cellular was so poor. But now it's better. And now it's good. You could make an argument that based on my testing, Carlos's testing, as well as others, I think the iPhone offers a very good cellular performance proposition. I think it's really good. So if you like the iPhone, you're going to get it anyways, but now you're getting that nice cellular performance. You don't have to get an expensive iPhone. You don't have to buy the Pro. You don't have to buy the Pro Max, 1,000, 1,100. You could buy the regular 12. You could buy the 12 mini. I'm guessing that the next generation of the iPhone SE, whatever it is, I'm guessing that's going to be 5G compatible as well. Let's see what happens here in the spring when we're scheduled to see the follow-up for that entry-level iPhone. But it's been a dream. It's been really good. I've been surprised how good it's been. So I was surprised with the performance for my 12 Pro. I bought a 12. And I know that it's not the cutting-edge modem. I know that the Androids from this year are going to have the X60. But even the X60 doesn't seem to be performing that much better. Or it's not really performing better at all. So until further notice, the iPhone actually seems to be performing very well even compared to the S21, which just came out. Now, it is true that the S21 does do something that the iPhones won't be able to do, and that is the carrier aggregation. The carrier aggregation of 5G. When the carriers are ready to do it, an update will go to the S21 and give them that capability. This generation of iPhone will never be able to do that. It's hardware restricted. So there is that piece. But the S21 is not doing that yet. So you don't have to feel left out. You don't have to feel like you're missing out on some kind of feature or something like that. That's just not the case. I will, however, tell you guys, there are two phones that I'm excited about. I talked about this on my podcast over the weekend. The rumored BlackBerry from Onward Mobility, if it's a flagship through and through, it's probably going to be getting my money. Probably. I want a BlackBerry with a hardware keyboard. That's a true flagship. So I want that. I also want a Pixel 6. I actually want the XL. I want the extra battery life. I don't want an S21. I don't want an LG V70. As good as the audio might be or probably will be. Headphone jack, expandable storage. If it has all that, I don't care. I'm all about the cellular tech. I want a Pixel 6 flagship through and through. And I want a BlackBerry flagship through and through. So let me tell you guys what's about to happen. I likely have an S21 coming this week, and I likely have another iPhone coming this week. That's 4 phones. That's 3 iPhones and a Galaxy. If the Pixel 6 is a true flagship, I will sell one of the iPhones. If the BlackBerry is a true flagship and it's a good phone, I will get rid of the S21. That's where I'm at with my phones this year for testing. I want to be on a Pixel flagship, I want to be on a BlackBerry, and I want to be on 2 iPhones. That's how I want to do my thing this year. If BlackBerry, something is wrong, they don't drop the device until the end of the year, it gets bad reviews, it falters or something, then I'm going to be keeping my S21. If something happens with the Pixel and we don't get a true flagship, we get some kind of mid-ranger thing again like the 5, I am going to be selling my 5. I'll be not getting a Pixel 6, and I'll buy another iPhone. It sucks, but it's true. There's nothing wrong with mid-rangers, but in my needs, based on what I'm doing with the channel, those are my only options. It's iPhones, it's the S21 for now. I'd rather have the Pixel 6 and a flagship, and I'd rather have the BlackBerry flagship over the S21. The S21's my last resort. I only want to own one if I have to. I really don't want to. I don't like Samsung software. I love their displays. Right? They've always got top-notch specs. They're very powerful. But there's nothing that enjoyable for it for me because I don't really use those features. I like the fluidity and the butter smoothness of the experience of the Pixel. For those of you that have owned a Pixel before, you know what I'm talking about. That is a phenomenal smartphone experience. I will argue that the Google Pixel experience is better than iOS. And I've used all these phones. It's more integrated when it comes to the Google apps. The camera is second to none when it comes to photography. I mean, it is really, really nice. I do like the iPhone, but I do like the Pixel better. But I need a true flagship Pixel. Otherwise, I'm going to stick with the iPhone. So for me, it's Pixel or iPhone. It's the S21. I'll keep it if I can't get the BlackBerry. The BlackBerry's got to be a flagship, though. It's got to be powerful. I need the Qualcomm Snapdragon 888 with the X60 modem. Same thing from the Pixel. If the Pixel doesn't have that, I'm keeping my third iPhone. If the S21, if the BlackBerry is not a flagship, I'm keeping my S21. That's how I'm rolling in 2021. With a Qualcomm Snapdragon 870? No. I don't want any shortcuts in my Blackberries or my Pixels. For those of you that know, I'm on Team Pixel. They sent me my Pixel 5. And I want to thank them for that opportunity to review that phone, to make content with that phone. It's been an incredible experience. It's a nice phone, but it is not a true powerhouse. A true powerhouse would have had the Qualcomm Snapdragon 865. They chose not to use that chipset. Let's assume that it's for cutting cost. But Kimon, if it's the 870, that's not the X60 modem. It's going to be an X52 modem, an X55 modem. What's it going to be? Now, if it uses the X60 modem, then maybe we could talk. I like mid-rangers, but not for my testing. If it's my personal phone, it's a different story. You get what I'm saying? If it's a personal... Guys, I have a Pixel 5, and I reach for that phone all the time. I love that phone. That's one of the nicer phones of the year for me. But it's not a true powerhouse flagship. If you're okay with that, then fine. You know, I think it's been fine too. But it's not going to be one of my flagships that I use for testing. That's all I'm going to say on that. You know, that's all there is to it. All right, my good people, let's close up the show with this last topic. This one is on C-band. We got an update from a couple of news outlets, media outlets over, I think, Fierce Wireless, Walt Pychek over on Twitter from, Light Reading. Look, we knew how much C-band had generated, all right? $81 billion in gross proceeds. They now have completed the assignment phase. I think there was an additional $0.3 billion for specific licenses block, so that bumped up the price a little bit in terms of gross proceeds. Whatever, no big deal. Once you're over $80 billion, I don't think it matters anyways. With clearing costs, I think it was like 10, 11, 12 billion. So add that on there. I think we're pushing like $93, $94 billion in total, something like that. We know that cash deposits are due within 10 business days of the announced assignments. I think the deposits are at 20%. So to give you guys perspective, let's say that Verizon Wireless. Let's start cheap. Let's say that T-Mobile ends up spending $10 billion on C-band spectrum. 20% of that, $2 billion, is due within 10 business days of the assignment completion. So that means they got to come up with that money within the first 10 days. I think AT&T is going to spend at least double, maybe more, on C-band. So they're probably going to be owing $4 or $5 billion at that deposit time. Verizon's expected to be at about $40 billion, which is very, very high. They're expected to be the big buyers. If that's the case, Verizon's got to come up with 20% of $40 billion. So we're looking at about $8 billion. That's a hefty price tag, but Verizon has it. Verizon had a $10 billion cost-cutting initiative that started about 5 years ago. I do believe they reached that milestone last month or 2 months ago. I think it was December or something like that. So I think they have that. But then there's the rest of the money, which is expensive. Plus, you got to upgrade the network, right? You got to deploy it and stuff like that. So, man, the thing about this, and everybody's talking about how this is going to hurt carriers, and this is going to set them back. Of course it is. But here's the thing: there's only 3 carriers, and the business is there, and the people have spoken. You guys, the SMT Nation, myself, we've all said to the carriers, will buy your internet. I have T-Mobile home internet, and honestly, it's not very good. But it's better than Cox. A lot of home ISPs have been so trash for so long, people are dying to leave. People can't wait to leave. They would much rather buy their home internet services from their carriers. They've already proven this. So Verizon's not losing by spending money on C-band. They can monetize it. T-Mobile's not losing by buying on C-band. They're going to monetize it through mobility and through home internet. All these streaming services, you need the bandwidth. Monetize it. Verizon's going to have 3 capacity layers. AT&T's going to have 2 capacity layers. T-Mobile's going to have 2 capacity layers. Monetize it. All I'm saying is you can create new revenue streams basically out of thin air just by deploying the C-band to the full potential. Tower densification, 60, 80, 100 megahertz channels, and sell some fast fixed home wireless. I'm telling you guys, people like me who can't stand their home internet service provider, people like you who can't stand their home internet service provider, maybe you have Cox Communications, maybe you have Spectrum, maybe you have Xfinity, I don't know what you got, Altice, maybe you have HughesNet. It's all trash. They're horrible companies who don't know how to treat their customers and don't price fairly. They monopolize, they corner the market, and then they charge whatever they want, and they don't really care about the performance of their products. At least with the carriers, they compete with one another. And if they can offer a fair price with a good enough performance product, by good enough, 100 megabits, 150 megabits, 200 megabits, they can offer that when you've got wider wireless channels. There's still going to be people using fiber. Look, the end game in home internet is always going to be fiber, but until they put that fiber in your neighborhood and at your house, you've got to figure something else out. Nobody should be stuck with garbage coax. If it's good coax, okay, fine. But not everybody has good coax. I'm one of those examples that has horrible coax from a horrible company who doesn't care about how well their product performs because they don't feel compelled to reinvest and spend money when they don't have to. They just say it's good enough. We don't have to spend money we don't need to. We keep profits in our pocket. And I get it, that's business. But hey, when these new wireless home internet service providers, when they start offering product in your neighborhood and people start switching, then maybe you'll change your tune. I understand that T-Mobile home internet is not the best. And Verizon home internet through wireless is not the best. But it gives people an option. And it allows people to pick and choose a carrier and leave if they don't like what the other provider is doing. And who knows, maybe with the added capacity from Verizon and T-Mobile, like could you imagine a tower site from T-Mobile that has N41 and N77 and they aggregate it? You're going to be doing gigabit speed as a baseline. Zero Cool, can you confirm? N41 aggregating with N77, gigabit speed for home internet. Can we confirm? Just checking. I mean, I know the answer. I'm just saying. Maybe they'll listen to an engineer if they don't want to listen to me, I love the concept of home ISPs feeling pressure. And I love the concept of people having them competing, giving you a better product with a better price. And I'm sorry, but I'm not pushing competitors out. I want more of them. I hope AT&T starts to do that in certain places. Wherever they don't do their fiber, they could at least do the home fixed wireless. What do you want me to do, Lou? The Android options are weak, dude. I'm 50-50 now. I got 2 Androids, I got 2 iPhones, man. What do you want me to do? The Pixels ain't got no flagship. The BlackBerry ain't out yet. I want that. I have an S20 Plus. You know, and if the other options don't come through, I'll probably end up getting an S21. You know, and that's probably coming in this week. I don't know if I'll keep it long term. I'm going to try it. You know, we'll see what happens. Big Lou, I know you got one, man. Maybe you can kind of tell me how you see it, how your experience has been. I'm curious to know if you've been enjoying it or whatnot. But dump the Samsung ASAP. Look, I'm not dumping Samsung. I'm not dumping the Samsung until I see a flagship Google Pixel and a BlackBerry flagship as well. Then we'll talk. In my perception, I think this year's iPhone stepped up their game, and I think the cellular is good. I don't prefer to use iPhone. I personally don't. I'd much prefer to use a Google Pixel, and I'd much prefer to use a BlackBerry. But hey, those things don't exist yet. So for now, I'm using the iPhones. I have the iPhone 12 Product Red. I have the iPhone 12 Pro in the Pacific Blue. And, then my other two Androids, I got the Google Pixel 5. And I got, the S20 Plus. So that's what I'm doing for now. We'll see what happens. Anyways, I got to get over to Technoid's show. He's going to be starting it in a minute. Let me go ahead and thank everybody for a great show. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's close things out on a good note. Do me a solid. If it's your first time here, consider subscribing to the SMT YouTube channel. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and activate the bell to get the notifications whenever I go live or we drop a new video. Check it out. Also in the description box, there's a link for the SMT Patreon page. If you like what we do with the channel, we take it to the next level. More in-depth analysis, early access to videos, exclusive content, live streams and podcasts, and network testing. We got the Discord as well, so you can check us out both on the Patreon and on Discord. Links in the description below. And that wraps it up. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate you all for being a part of the SMT community. Hashtag Mod Squad for my moderators. Hashtag 2Live Crew if you watch this in the live. Hashtag Replay Crew if you watch this on DVR. And hashtag Ravioli Gang if you're watching this while you're eating dinner, or you're hungry, or you were snacking, or you were wrestling your dog. I don't know, whatever you were doing. It's all good. Appreciate you guys very much. You guys are the best. Thanks for being a part of the SMT Nation. Thanks for coming by and watching and listening to the show. Hope to see you soon on the next one. Peace. Yeah.